plug it in the charger and charging commences. And if it's flashing green, then the charging is running. Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Luening, Horst Luening, and today I introduce you to my not so new Tesla Model S electric car. Perhaps you have seen already 2 videos of this car where I traveled to the Lake Constance and visited a whiskey collection, and my second video where I went over the Passo Stelvio, the second highest pass in the Alps. This is an electric car. It has the size of a Mercedes S-Class. It's really big. It's 5 meters long, it's 2 meters wide, and has a weight tag of a hefty 2.1 tons, and 800 kilograms of these 2.1 tons is the weight of the battery. And the battery is not that small as it is in a Golf or BMW i3. There the batteries are very small and only capable of propel the car to 100 kilometers. This one has an 85 kilowatt hours battery, and it is able to drive with this battery up to 400 kilometers. This is quite a lot, and therefore you need an extremely good drag coefficient, that you do not have this air drag during fast travels. Therefore, the car, it looks like it has a front opening for the engine, but it's really plastic, so that the wind does not go into the car, just pass over the car. And these cars with the combustion engine in it, they typically have quite a huge opening in the front, and this gives a lot of drag. Below you see a small opening in the car. This is for the air conditioning. There the cooler for the air conditioning is situated, and with this cooler also the battery is cooled when temperatures are very hot. This increases the longevity of the battery. This is a car from late 2013, and these are no fog lamps, no, these are turning lamps for enlighten the side of the road if you turn. The newer cars have fog lamps there as well. The entry for the air for the brakes. The lighting system is a xenon lamp, which has only 25 watts, so the light beam is limited to 2000 lumen, and therefore you do not need this automatic cleaning and the height adjustment of the lamps. Well, if you compare the light to a Mercedes S-Class, it is less good, but it's significantly better than those of the standard cars around. Looking from the side at the car, here you have a side lighting, a turning indicator, and the wheels are quite huge. This is no ecologically designed car with extremely thin tires and an appearance of a green car. No, this one looks like a sports car, and really it is. It accelerates in 5.5 seconds to 100 kilometers per hour, which is equivalent to 60 miles per hour, and has huge tires. Those are the small tires. I ordered the small tires because they have less driving drag, and but they are already 245/45 tires, 19-inch rims, quite huge, and there are really big brakes in this front wheel, because you have to stop the car from up to 200 kilometers per hour down to zero with an emergency brake, and therefore you need those huge brakes like every normal sports car needs also. but you do not use much of the brakes, because most often you brake with the electric motor and regain energy from the kinetic energy of the car. So people say you do not have to have maintenance on the brakes for 100,000 kilometers. I don't know, I already have about 30,000 kilometers, and well, with the first cars, you see, you might have to change a few things in the brakes. Going further to the side of the car, the back mirrors, they are quite huge, and in the first time there was no electric turning of the mirrors for the automatic washing of the car, or for parking in small parking lots. So there is an adjustment, electric of course, from the inside, but to turn the mirrors you have to go do it by hand. And behind these mirrors there's the part where the washing does not happen very well, so you have to clean that afterwards. The drag coefficient is very important for that car because of the very few energy in the battery. So the opening of the car is done automatically. If you come near to the car with your key, then the handles come out automatically. Good idea. It functions. At first I had ideas, will it happen all the way? What to do if they do not come out, but they always come out. Wonderful thing. The back tires, the back wheels as well, have huge brakes in it, and they have two sets of brakes. One is for the electric parking brake, and the other is the typical brake. And as well here, most of the time you brake with a motor, which is situated in between those real wheels, as well as a transmission, a single gear transmission, which you do not have to switch. And the electric motor goes from 0 to 15,000 RPM just without changing gear. Behind this red plastic is the charging port. We come to this point later. Let's have a look at the back of the car, and what you see immediately, there is no exhaust pipe. Nothing at all. This is a car without any combustion engine, not for increasing the range of the car. If the battery is empty, it's empty. No, not really. There is a small amount of extra energy which you can use to drive the last 10 miles. And then the car really stops, is off. But you can restart it a few times and drive a few hundred meters to bring your car into a safety position where you can recharge the car. The writings on the back is the Model S. All those cars you see are named Model S, and the individual configurations is seen here. This is no power indicator, no engine indicator. This is an indicator for the capacity of the battery. It's 85 kilowatt hours. There is a smaller version with a 60 kilowatt hour battery in, and there are some performance versions out there which carry a P in front. And these performance versions have, well, the same motor as this car, but a double inverter where you can transform more energy from the battery into AC power for the motor. And there is an P85 Plus model which has bigger tires in the back and more stabilizers and so on, so a more sportive version. And there is a new model, or a new model came out late 2014, the D model. It's an 85D, and this means dual motor, and there you have a motor in between the rear wheels and a motor between the front wheels. So it's a double motor, and if you have a P in front, the performance 85D, then this car has 700 horsepower and accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.2, 4 seconds. So this is the best you have on the streets today. This car has a special suspension. It has an air suspension, and with this air suspension you can drive the car higher so that you can pass more easy above rough roads or well, in snow, and whenever you need a bigger clearance between the car and the road. But it also is able to reduce the height above the road for a better drag coefficient, air drag coefficient, so that you can conserve energy during high-speed travels. And here you can see how the car is pumped up. And down again. There's a memory function in this car. It remembers where you increased the height over the road and will do this again in later times when you pass again that road, as well as an automatic setting from which speed on the height above the road is narrowed. So everything goes automatically, you do not have to care about that. This car has a special key. It's the form of the Model S. It's from plastic, so it shows already a little wear after 1.25 years. And there's 3 knobs on the top. The middle opens the main doors, the back opens the trunk, and the front, well, opens the front, and surprise, surprise, there's no motor in the car. Because I told you already, the motor is in the back between the rear wheels. This is called the frunk, the front trunk. Here you can see it's the main charging cable I need for this car if I fill it up at home. When I'm on the road at the Tesla superchargers, there's no need for any cable because the cables are fixed to the stations. That's it. If you have these new all-wheel drive with a dual motor, the 85D, then you lose the hidden this back part of the frunk and reduce the frunk for less. But you're getting something for it. You're getting a second motor and all-wheel drive. Here you add water for the windshield, wipers, and that's all. Behind these plastic is a lot of well, machinery. There's the power steering, the electric power steering. There's the air conditioning. There's the filter for the incoming air. There's an additional battery, an old lead battery in it. Why, I don't know. And a lot of different equipment which typically would find in this place. They are all moved to the side. The hood, call it the front lid, is also from aluminum, and be careful not to press it too hard. It may harm. Let's have a look at the inside of the car. This is a big trunk, really huge. There is a lot of space in the car, and my critic at Tesla is this lid costs 600 euros. An awful lot for a little bit of plastic. Well, inside the trunk, you can see below this bottom is, on the left-hand side, the electric motor. In the middle part, there's the transmission, and on the right-hand side is the converter, which converts the direct current into alternating current from the battery for the motor, for the alternating current motor. And the battery itself resides below the car, below the seats, and has the complete coverage below the car between the wheels. Here are the motor and the transmission and the converter, and here you have extra space. And this extra space I use for all my charging equipment, and it is also used for children's seat, where you can fit 2 children's seats facing to the back inside this, and the feet of the children go down here. I do not have this. I'm old enough. I do not have small children. What is in this trunk? Well, there is a long extension cord for 3-phase current. It's 50 meters long. There's a wire converter from this 3-phase to 1-phase. It's a camping converter. Here you can have 16 amps, 1-phase constant. Here I have a plug which checks if the outlet in the wall is all right, if all phases have power, if a fuse burned. Then I have a universal charging adapter, and this is a very tricky thing. You have this small box, there's electronic inside, which looks at the available power into the system. If you have 1-phase, 2-phase, 3-phase, and how many kilowatts are possible to tear from that wall. The smallest adapter is the European Schuko adapter. Here you have 1-phase, 13 amps. Well, 16 amps is maximum possible, but on long-term use you are only allowed to take 13 amps out of a Schuko, and it will probably become warm. And if you have this 13 amps, you need a full day, 24 hours, to fill up a complete empty battery. With the 3-phase adapter, you have 3 phases each with 16 amps. And with this you can charge up your car in 8 hours. It's 50 kilometers per hour in average gain in possible kilometers to drive. Then there are bigger plugs or wall outlets with 32 amps, also red, but you are not allowed to use that on this car directly. You have to have a security equipment in. So European regulations say you have to have such a security equipment in between. All farmers use those 32 amps outlets for their farming equipment. Nobody cares about any security, but in this case, in an electric car, you have to. It's only hindering the spreading of electric cars. On the other side is this plug. It's a very tricky plug inside the Tesla vehicle. If you want to, or with this red plug, you're able to charge with 11 kilowatts, 3 phases, each 16 amps. And the maximum you can charge with alternating current is 22 kilowatts. And therefore, you need a different plug. And this is this one. You've seen the orange cable in the front shortly before. And with this other plug, you go into this wall box you see here. And this can deliver 22 kilowatts. And this will fill up the battery of the Model S in 4 hours if it's completely empty. Typically, I have to charge only for 1 hour, and then I'm in the reach of a supercharger where I can fill up with 135 kilowatts my car in very short times to have additional range of 200 kilometers in 20 minutes. Here you see my orange cable I showed to you in the front of the car for charging the Tesla Model S at the wall box. I have a short one, but unfortunately it is broken. I bought a too cheap one, but I have warranty on it. I will get the new one very soon. So I have this long 10 meters cable, and just plug it in the wall box, plug it in the charger, and charging commences. And if it's flashing green, then the charging is running, and the farther it charges, it flickers, it blinks, the more empty the battery is. So, well, we're quite in the middle in the charging process. The flap here is opened either by a knob on the cable. This one is a cheap one, it does not have this knob, and then it's opened from the inside. This is an electric magnet which you release. Now, where the wall box and the car have negotiated the contact, the cable is locked. So nobody is able to take this cable away. There will be a next video I show from the inside of the car. It will take quite a long time, so I make a cut here, and I hope you will join me with this second video in the next days. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we see you soon.